me ask you this. In the past, when silver was lagging, you've held back production. Is that a strategy you're looking to repeat?
Welcome to Silver Heist. Thank you to our returning subscribers and guests. I want to share with you recent news, underreported news as far as I can tell. I want to combine two interviews with Mr. Keith Neumeyer, the founder and CEO of First Majestic Silver. I interviewed him twice in 2021, and recently the best interviewer on YouTube, Daniela Cambone, interviewed him in July 2022. So he has held back from sale over 1 million ounces of mined silver in 2021 because the price of the metal had swung too low, too fast. And recently, Daniela Cambone asked him if he's looking to do the same. So if you like physical silver and gold and breaking news with its impact, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. So not to be confused with this physical silver that you can buy at First Majestic's online bullion store. These two interviews combined will describe how much and why does First Majestic Silver hold back mined silver, how does it work out, and could he sell silver directly to industry and bypass the banks, and with multiple producing mines, what's the First Majestic silver to gold ratio? And Daniela Cambone asked Mr. Neumeyer about this summer's silver price and what can change in the second half of 2022 to improve the outlook for silver. I've created chapters so you can jump around as you see fit, but I actually think all of the chapters fit well together.
Well, we are pleased today to welcome Mr. Keith Neumeyer. Mr. Neumeyer is the CEO and founder of First Majestic Silver, a multi-billion-dollar New York Stock Exchange listed company that extracts 12 million ounces of silver each year from its mines. Mr. Neumeyer, it's great to have you back. Thanks for joining us today.
Good seeing you again, Robert. And just to just cover the gold production we have as well, because we do produce about 25 million ounces of silver equivalent, of which about half of that is silver and about half of that is gold.
So in the third quarter of this year, First Majestic Silver held back from sale and warehoused 1.4 million ounces of your silver mined product and held it back from selling that. What led to that decision, and can you give us an update on that?
Sure. It's not the first time we've done it. And, for people that don't know, I come from the banking system as a trader, for three of the largest national banks in Canada back in the 80s. And so I've got a bit of a trading blood in me. And, when I see these, big gyrations in anything, I try to take advantage of it. And in the case of silver, we're at $30 an ounce just earlier in the year, and it dropped all the way down to the low 20s. I figured it was going to bounce, and I was right. So we ended up profiting on that trade, for the tune of, a few $1 million extra, comes into our bank account. And, I think, it's not our business to hold ounces for long term. Our shareholders want to see top line, revenue. They want to see, bottom line profits. And, if we hold back too much metal like we did in the Q3, that's $35 million in revenue that we didn't take in that quarter. And, that's a lot of profit that, we're obviously not taking. But I'm a bull on the metal. I hate selling silver at these prices, but we are a business after all, and we have a lot of employees that we have to feed and take care of. So we do have responsibilities. We do it occasionally when we see big gyrations in the metal prices. We did then, and we'll likely do it again in the future. It's just it's not something we do every quarter.
If you identified an industrial silver user who could buy directly from you, say 10 million ounces of silver a year, could that be a favorable arrangement?
It could be, but I wouldn't fix the price. If the buyer, wanted to be exposed to the market, then I would definitely consider that, because because we need to give our investors, our shareholders, the full upside of the metal, and that's why people obviously buy a company like First Majestic, because they want that exposure. I would love to cut out the whole system. The problem with the mine, I've had interviews on this topic, many times, and the banks are the ones that really are responsible for, in my opinion, tamping down this market or preventing this market from really doing what it should be doing on a pure supply demand fundamental basis. And so I think there is artificial pricing that goes on, and the miners are forced to sell their metal into this fixed system. And if we could somehow bypass, the current pricing mechanism, bypass the COMEX, go directly to the end buyer, like an Apple or like a Sony or Tesla or a BMW, I think that'd be very good for the business and take the COMEX right out of the pricing mechanism.
And so looking back, say a year and looking forward either now or a couple of years, what's your ratio of silver versus gold between your different markets?
It's definitely changing. And I've got my eyeball on that because, I know shareholders want to see us remain as pure silver as possible. And it's tough, though. It's because, there seems to be a lot of gold mines around, but there's just very few silver mines, and it's very difficult to find good silver mines. And investors really don't understand this. And we're mining, and I see this is on our PowerPoint presentation, which is on our website. 7 to 1. So for every 1 ounce of gold being mined worldwide, we're only mining 7 ounces of silver, and we're trading at something like 70 to 1. So, it makes no sense to me what the financial relationship is. It should be much closer to the mining ratio. With gold, keep being added to our portfolio, we have to be very careful, try not to drop below that 50% magic number. So we're still the purest of the big players in the sector, but we're hoping our next acquisition is going to be very silver centric.
Hi, this is Daniela Cambone, joined today by Keith Neumeyer, CEO and founder of First Majestic Silver. Keith, always good to see you. Keith, I have to ask you about the silver price. Obviously, gold and silver having a tough summer thus far. We see the strength of the US dollar. We see the rising interest rate environment. Silver specifically down 20% from the start of the year. What do you say to all the silver investors out there?
Yikes. Surprising me a lot, but when I started seeing silver come break below 2150 and get closer to 20, my gut, I even had chats with people here internally that I'm predicting 1850 silver, and not that I wanted to see that, but it just became so obvious to me, with copper breaking down, lead zinc breaking down, the softs like the corns, the grains, everything's just dropping. And finally oil cracked. Oil did get up to approximately 140, and there was speculation that we could see $200 oil. Obviously that didn't happen. Oil was broken below 100 now and kind of fluctuating around 100 a barrel. Some people are predicting $80 oil, but there's still others out there still predicting $200 oil. So I think there's a view that we're going into a worldwide recession, and I think that silver is getting caught in the whole base metal drop. And after all, what's frustrating about silver to me is it has two faces. And you've heard me talk about this before. Sometimes gold will rally, and if copper's down that day, silver could be flat. And other days, if copper's up, gold's up, silver will be up. Other days, if gold is down and copper's up, silver might be up, it might be down, or might be flat. It's one of these strange metals that no one can really decide. Is silver a precious metal, or is it a industrial metal? I call it a strategic metal. I came up with that phrase many years ago. Due to my views on the necessity of silver in the world.
Let me ask you this: in the past, when silver was lagging, you've held back production. Is that a strategy you're looking to repeat?
We did hold back some production in Q2. It wasn't a huge amount of ounces. I think it was about 250,000 ounces we held back, because the last couple of weeks of June, the metal price, silver price just dropped so much, and I just stopped selling because I just got so frustrated with it. And we actually started buying back some stock. We bought 50,000 shares of First Majestic stock in the market because the share price is just not looking particularly good.
I guess just to wrap here, Keith, just share with us some catalysts that shareholders can look forward to and prepare for in the second half of the year.
Well, talking about silver, I think we're going to end off on a positive note. I think we will see the Fed pivot sometime later this year, and who knows when. I don't have a crystal ball, but once the market realizes that they're done hiking, I think that's going to be the floor on gold, and that's going to then start to affect silver. And I think that's going to happen prior to the end of the year. You know, we did see Goldman Sachs come out with a 2,500 gold target, you know, for the end of 2022, which surprised me. You know, the big bank in the US, $2,500 gold. You know, we all love to see that. So, and if that did happen, you know, that's going to be probably what, $30 silver potentially.
Right.
So, you know, we can look forward to that. But, you know, when it comes to corporate stuff, you know, Jerritt Canyon, you know, as I said earlier in our chat, that you know, we're expecting Jerritt Canyon to start to free cash flow by the end of 2022, and then look forward to a pretty strong 2023, you know, with increased production. And Santa Elena through Ermitaño is going to continue to grow. And, you know, there's even thoughts that we might be expanding that mill over the next couple of years.
Well, Mr. Neumeyer, I really appreciate your time. It's been great talking to you today. Thank you again.
Great. Thanks, Robert.